Hi, parents. Deacon John Wilson here, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church over here in Los Angeles. But I have so many of my families there in the Long Beach area, and there's a topic that's going to affect Long Beach Unified School District, which in the past has been quite, I must admit, in terms of content of learning and organization, quite a bit ahead of LUSD. But the gap is narrowing, as we can see from a couple of articles I want to go over with you right now. Let's go back to first look at something that occurred in, I believe, back in October, or actually back in February. Let me see the date on this. Actually, the date on this is, I want to be really accurate here. Yes, back in February of this year, there was an attempted rollout of gender-neutral locker rooms at the new Aquatic Center at Wilson High. And apparently we're adding aquatic centers to all of the major public high schools in Long Beach Unified, and this plan will be duplicated in the other schools. Well, in February, they attempted to roll that out, and you can see in the article, I'm going to include the link at the bottom. You can see the layout here was just going to have team rooms 1 and team room 2. And I guess supposedly the youth could change in the same areas. There was an inclusive restroom as well. I don't know what, now I'm going to try not to swear here. I don't know what in, I'm going to say Hades, these people were thinking that this would get by the parents at Wilson High. Now, ironically, I think they could have gotten this. Well, I should say the fact that they listened to these Wilson parents and pulled back the plans tells me how Long Beach is a little ahead of LUSD, who would have just rammed this through anyway, like they're doing right now with the gender curriculum in the classrooms. So on the one hand, I have to say it was good. I had hope when in February they admitted and pulled this back. You can read about it right here. It's a $23 million project. Maybe more. It just says the pool's 23. But the locker room is kind of bizarre. Looks like in this original design, the coaches can't even oversee this area. It's a co-ed area. I don't know what they were thinking. I guess owing to some of the things happening across the country in NCAA, they think they're getting their kids ready for college, where there's a total disrespect for gender and in NCAA swimming. I still try to figure out what's going on there. But let's stay on point. Robert Hamilton was the father that led the charge against it last time. He has apparently an Olympic level type swimmer in the Long Beach School District. And you can read about it here, but they were able to stop it at that point, and they pulled back the design. It said that early in the article here somewhere that they pulled back the design, and some parents, I'm absolutely against it. Some oppose gender neutral locker rooms, some oppose. I bet it's most of you are hearing this oppose gender neutral. I'm having trouble like talking about this like it really happened. It almost seems like a Saturday Night Live skit. Are you kidding? Some? They must be out of their minds. Most parents I talk to wouldn't agree with this. Not being supervised in a co-ed area, and you're justifying that in terms of gender. What are these people, what were they even thinking? Anyway, the plans were pulled and modified, and now we have this second article, which, first of all, it's the same newspaper. And I'm going to talk to the writer of this article here, who's Harry Saltzgaver, or Gaver, I'm not sure which. He writes it for the Grunion Gazette. And I guess Long Beach Press Telegram published it, may have some relationship. I just noticed that. Anyway, because we don't really have an actual newspaper here in Long Beach, which is part of the problem, by the way. We can't be informed on what's happening. But they act like the first approach never occurred when they published this one, August 6th. And I'll read a little bit of it here the August 6th one. I'm sorry it's been so many days, but my intelligence service, who's my wife, has been unable to look at the news lately. She keeps me informed here. I want to give her a shout out. But anyway, revised plans for new Long Beach high school locker rooms that focus on gender neutrality. I'm leave that alone. Have failed to quell the ire of it didn't work. The new plan did not solve the issue. The proposed locker room designs are part of an overall project to create new aquatics complexes at 5 high schools. Now they acknowledge it's going to be 5. The first article just said Wilson. The project was supposed to begin this summer, but clearly it didn't. The initial plan, which calls for entirely gender-neutral locker rooms, as I mentioned earlier, received fierce opposition. They give a link here to an article that was not even spoken of in the first article. So we have a media that doesn't help us. They don't tie things together. Parents, you are not getting the information you need, and you need to stand up for that. If I have some Long Beach Unified parents, and I know some of you are subscribers. If you're seeing this video, you need to speak up. Parents at Long Beach Poly, Cabrillo, I know you hear me. Renaissance. Don't let this happen in your high school. They're going to put an aquatic center in your high school, and it's not going to make you happy when you find out what's going on, even with this new plan. All right, the initial plan calls for gender neutral locker rooms, fierce opposition. Those officials have taken community concerns into account by revising the plans, which now include, this is an advance, I suppose, a specific shower and changing area for each. Then they don't write this sentence right. They say both boys and girls. They should say each boys and girls, while still having a larger, and that's the problem, larger gender neutral area. Why do we have a larger area for a very small percentage of students? And also, I think their privacy is in question. You understand? They should have booths or some kind of a privacy. If it's a transgendered, let's just bring it out in the open. If it's a transgender child, they should dress by themselves without anybody seeing or being aware of their presence, because you don't want to have young ladies and young men in the same area, I thought. And by the way, I don't care what you call yourself, you have the plumbing of a male or a female. And we parents understand that, and you parents have got to understand that. So why do we have this larger area? It should be smaller. There are not more transgendered kids than there are those who say they're male or female. How hard is that to understand? Opponents of the original plan have also criticized the current version, say it does not resolve the mixed gender issue. Of course it doesn't resolve their issue. It doesn't resolve either issue. These transgendered students need to have their own area. I'm not even here to talk about whether we should even accommodate them. We're long past that. But there should be a boys area, a girls area, probably taking up 80% of that facility. I think 90, but I'm gonna say 80. And there should be a smaller, not a larger area, and it should have privacy within that area. What's the matter with you, Long Beach School Board? What are you doing? I'm gonna send this video to you, and you need to get this right. You have not worked the issue with the parents. You are going to hear from parents on this. I can guarantee it to you. It says they had fairly lengthy meetings with Dr. Tiffany Brown, like the Nora Board. I'm going to study her background. Long Beach USD's Deputy Superintendent for Facilities. Why isn't Jill, I know her as Jill, I'm sorry. Why isn't a superintendent quoted here? Listen what the quote is. We've had fairly lengthy meetings with LBUSD, Long Beach Unified, said Rich Foster, the current president of the Aquatic Capital of America, a longtime polo official for the Summer. Why is he even involved in this? It should be up to the parents. Why aren't they meeting with parents? What is going on here? The parents should have been brought to the table, and there should be open hearings about this. See, we're in a city, Long Beach, where the mayor and the school board are not over the school board. The mayor and the city council are not involved in the schools at all. And this is what happens. The voters have no say. You say, well, they could have voted for the school board. Well, the school board is, we all know, is lock, stock, and barrel beholden to the teachers' unions. And the teachers' unions are heavy into these gender equity issues. I'm sorry, there's no accountability to parents. They said there were a bunch of coaches there and lots of really good ideas. They totally disregarded the coaches. That's, to me, is the most important line of this article. I don't want this video to go too long, so you need to read this. There's a lot of very interesting quotes there. I don't know. This guy Somoza here, they don't really quote Dr. Tiffany Brown at all. He just says the design. This is the designer, I guess. A spokesperson says Wilson's updated modern locker room design, which includes an all gender and single gender space, doesn't say how much of each, reflects additional feedback we received. Well, your feedback you listened to is what I want to know. And also, did you even listen to your common sense? And did the feedback come from parents of the students, not just the coaches? You were going to ignore them anyway. And they're pressured probably by the teachers' unions. I don't know. I have a real problem with this. The new design is shown in the article. I'll include both links to both articles in the bottom here. But parents, again, the importance of you speaking up. I need you who have swimmers. I need you if you have just parents of students, they're friends of students who are swimmers. Do you want this kind of an area known to be that way? Do you want students to be able to wander into these areas? Apparently, look at the design. They're not even be able to be seen. I'm looking at this and I see down here, it's not clear that the coaches can really see everything that's going on. And anyway, why should they have to look? They don't even have door or window, or they apparently can't look in. It's not clear they can see what's going on. And I don't know if I'm comfortable with other people looking at children dressing anyway. They should have did this, separate the genders, a smaller area in the middle with personalized areas, and I'll be making that suggestion as well. God bless you all. I hope that helps you with this issue. Bye.